In a recent interview, Max and Stacy looked at the increase in leverage and complex bets threatening to unravel at the slightest change in interest rates or the stock prices. Also, in the second half of this video, we'll discuss some key points of discussion between Max Kaiser and Lawrence Lepard, who is an independent investment advisor regarding the dollar, inflation, and the global trade. Talking about the economy going down and the possibility of a market crash, Meg said that it's beginning to look a lot like 2008 to us. But at that time, of course, it was in around the same time of the year, March of 2008, where Bear Stearns had two hedge funds that collapsed and set in motion what would later, 6 months later, become the global financial crisis. You are starting to see that again. The debt crisis has risen again. The first time our financial system almost collapsed was back in the 90s with long-term capital management. That's when the Fed intervened to rescue one single hedge fund. The financial crisis has risen again, and that is it went through Europe. Because what happened was a huge amount of leverage using something called contracts for difference, which are illegal in the US but are allowed in the Europe. So it impacted US markets hugely. The complex bets at the heart of the unprecedented Archegos linked 30 billion margin call are that losses that triggered the liquidation of positions approaching 30 billion in value bring to light complicated financial instruments used by the European investors that effectively are banned in the United States but still have spillover effects domestically. So-called contracts for differences were at the heart of some of the massive wrong way bets made by Bell Bank's Archegos Capital Management. CFDs are the kind of derivative instrument that allows traders to place a directional bet on the price of a security without actually buying or selling the underlying instrument. It works much like a futures contract, an index. The buyer and the seller agree on the price of a transaction sometime in the future, at the end date or earlier if they decide to unwind the position beforehand. Only the difference between the actual and the agreed price will be settled. If the price went up, the seller pays the buyer the difference and vice versa. There is structurally no difference between a contract for difference play and a roulette wheel. It's such a trope now that every 10 years they go through the machinations of this global financial crisis brought on by regulators, brought on by rogue traders that hit a fat finger trade and accidentally triggered a multi-$100 billion margin call. The first time was tragedy back in 2008, in 2009, and the reason was because Bitcoin had not yet spread mass around the world. There was no safe haven for the ordinary investors to save themselves from this financial system which was completely corrupt. Kaiser says that we are witnessing live the dreaded side of margin calls. The collapse of Archegos triggered turmoil in the US markets as the likes of Viacom, which is in many pension funds across America, collapsed by 27% as those trades unwound. Lawrence Lepard, talking about his portfolio's diversity, that his fund has traditionally been a gold fund. Gold is an analog hard money. You can take it with you, you can hide it, you can lose it in a boat accident. It's not necessarily taxable and it's got 5,000 years of history. Bitcoin is a superior in many ways, a superior alternative to gold in terms of transferability, storage, cost, etc. But it's emerging, and of course, as a result of its emerging, that's also why it's had such fantastic price performance. It's just crushed gold in terms of the price performance. Lawrence suggests that there's a role for both in everybody's portfolio. It's kind of interesting that you could almost kind of look at it as the old bond stocks model, where gold is maybe your bond. If you look at historically since 2000, it's gone up about 10 or 11% a year, which compared to today's bonds. Bond yield are pretty damn good, going up as measured in fiat. In reality, it stayed the same. Fiat's gone down. Then Bitcoin is your growth stock, which is grabbing a share from gold, but as with many growth stocks, it has a lot of volatility. So people need to figure out what their risk profile looks like. The only wrong allocation of Bitcoin is zero. Obviously, single digit percentages are not going to make much of an impact. Also, talking about Richard Nixon taking the US dollar off the gold standard, Lawrence said that it was obviously a horrible decision. It was partly done as a result of the Vietnam War. So many of the ills that we face in our society are a function of not having sound money. It's an ethical issue. The whole notion that some people can benefit from the contingent effect and that it steals from. The average human is just trying to live their life, work, and save money. Washington is corrupt. If you take away their ability to print money and control the printing press, then Washington is going to disappear. We don't need them. Constitution has gold and silver as the only acceptable forms of money. The Vietnam War, millions of people killed for a domino theory. Over the past few years, America has seen a drop in the life expectancy. The world will look a lot better when the monetary playing field is flat. We have a neutral reserve currency. We are not exporting our jobs overseas. Things are priced correctly all the way around. Farmers actually can make a decent living because they provide the one thing that we all need. The distortion and the price structure of every good and service in the world created by the US monetary policy. You have to keep increasing the amount of money shoved into the system or the system collapses. That's what all of us in the sound money community see and understand. Property prices are up over 10%. This year, wages are up 14% thanks to government transfers. All those price signals that are real are not helping gold, but the Ponzi mentality and the superstitions out there that somehow the Biden administration is going to fix the economy is dropping the price of gold. We are very close to the end of this drawdown in gold. Look at all the sentiment indicators, which are very good at predicting cycles. They are just throwing it out right now. And by the way, they are being held by the banks. They are probably being held by the few desks in New York. They need to take the eyes off of gold. They are trying to take the eyes off Bitcoin too. They went and they leaned on India and got to ban Bitcoin. We try out policies on them, they just ban Bitcoin. They can't kill Bitcoin. So guys, tell me in the comment section below, what are your views over this whole scenario? Also, if you found this video really informative, then please make sure to convert that like button into blue. Subscribe to our channel. I'll catch you in my next video. Till then, have a great day.